Good afternoon, this is DJJohnny at JDM FM and I'm back in Thelwall. Now I've got that many places to have a look at in Thelwall from people who've suggested ideas and places to go and see that I've decided to do a number of little small videos. I hope you don't mind. And this will be the first one. Good morning. This is DJJohnny at JDM FM and today I'm at Powdermill Road, which is actually in Latchford, which is near Warrington. Why Powdermill Road? Let's go and find out. So I've come up from Latchford and I've come all the way up to a place called Woolston Eyes. Now, although it's called Woolston Eyes nowadays, it didn't used to be called Woolston Eyes. It used to be called Thellwall Eyes. And this is where an amazing building was built. In fact, this building was built right behind me there, right just down there where you can see, on the banks of the River Mersey. And this building was a gunpowder factory. Whoa! This gunpowder factory was built in 1758. That's about 260 years ago. Can you imagine, 260 years ago, this place had a huge gunpowder factory just literally down there. It was on the water's edge. There was a house called Bank House, and there was also all sorts of areas for the water to go through. They also built a weir across the river to enable the water mills to work as well. Whoa, amazing! The company that built the gunpowder factory, or powder mill, were called Cunliffe, Stanton and Craven & Co. Quite a large company, and those guys used to be merchants in the seafaring trade, transporting goods and equipment all the way over to the Americas, the West Indies. They also got involved with the slave trade, which is also a bit of a dark side to this story. But apart from that, they've built this, when all that slave trading finished and that era was over, they decided to build this gunpowder factory, which was the big thing that they needed. The whole world needed gunpowder. And because of their close links with the sea and shipping and everything else, they were in a position where they could set up this factory very easily and organise gunpowder to be sold all over the world. Amazing! They transported saltpetre, charcoal and sulphur all the way from all over the world across to here, through to Liverpool and then down the Mersey to this factory as the raw product for the gunpowder, which could be processed in the factory. The guy who ended up running this factory was called John Stanton. Now, John Stanton lived down in Bank House, in that house just behind me now, for quite a few years, but then he lived further in to a place called Thelwall. Now, although I've said we're in Woolston Eyes, where this factory was built, it wasn't really built in Woolston at all. It was built in a place called Thelwall. Thelwall is this area. This used to be Thelwall before they diverted the River Mersey and they built the Manchester Canal and things like that. So in all honesty, this was the Thellwall Eyes. So John Stanton was the person who became responsible for this company and lived here in Thelwall. Now, this factory was an amazing factory. They made about something like 600 kilograms of gunpowder a day. Can you imagine that? 600 kilograms a day. 600 bags of sugar of gunpowder, high explosive. Jeepers creepers! They used to put it into barrels and they'd ship it out again along the Mersey, all the way to Liverpool and then onwards on this journey across the world. Whoa! So the factory continued to make gunpowder very productively and send it all over the place, including the War of Independence in America. And in fact, I believe they were selling gunpowder to both sides. Amazing! So the factory continued to make gunpowder for 100 years. Sadly, in 1858, an explosion occurred and the whole factory blew up. Boof! Sadly, one person was killed, another person was seriously burned. But it was actually fortunate because it could have been a lot worse because the people who worked there was lots of people and they were able to escape before the whole factory blew up, which is really fortunate, but sad for the person who died and his family, of course. Well, I can't believe how sad this was, because then that was it. That was actually the end of the gunpowder building, because they decided from then on that it wasn't worth rebuilding. So they decided to just ignore it completely. They closed it down, and it never made any more gunpowder. Since 1858, there's been no more gunpowder produced at this factory behind me. Oh. And since then, all the area where it used to be down there has been built over, because they built the Manchester Ship Canal. And the Manchester Ship Canal, when it was built, all the spoils came up here onto Thellwall Eyes, which then became Woolston Eyes. So now you can see how high we are compared to where it used to be all the way down there. So that's the story of the powder mill at Woolston Eyes, or Thellwall Eyes, where it was really built. I hope you like my little story. Anyway, whatever you're doing, hope you have a fabulous time, and see you again very, very soon. Bye. I'm very grateful to Michael Taylor, who's produced a fantastic book that I bought and had a good read. So lots of the stuff comes from his book. Do have a look at it. You buy it at Thelwall Post Office. Not this one, but the new one. Anyway, whatever you're doing, have a fabulous time. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.